So how are you feeling? Because obviously you weren't at the She Believes Cup.
A lot better. Progressing. Obviously it's a frustrating little injury, but I'm about 4 or 5 weeks out now, and I'm doing really well, and back on the field yesterday and today, which was exciting. And then being here with the team, which is also just nice, being with your teammates and seeing them and seeing the staff, and yeah, it's been great.
So 4 or 5 weeks out sort of puts you at the point, obviously I need to think about when you'll be away with the national team, but at the point where you should be able to play towards the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I'm hoping. We have a game coming up in Denver, and that'd be nice to play in front of my home crowd. But yeah, I'm just taking it day by day and seeing where I'm at, and this is what's important, and not looking too far in the future right now, just trying to get this right.
How are you sort of approaching this year? Obviously, it's going to be a big year for you on the international stage with the World Cup, potentially your first World Cup.
Right.
At the same time that obviously the Thorns have lofty expectations.
Well, yeah, obviously the World Cup is such a big deal for the internationals, and I'd be so grateful to be a part of that team. So, given that this is our club, and we want to do everything to give our all for the games that we're here, and then when we're not here, we want to make sure that everyone is on the same page, and we can leave them with something, and know that we believe in them, and there's people that are going to step up in our place, and if we are gone. So that's super important. You need to have that, and you need to have the players that can come in and play those roles. So it's going to be exciting for a lot of these players that are going to have to step up and play in so many games. So I'm excited for it.
How important is it going to be the next few weeks once the rest of the internationals return and the whole team's sort of here to make sure everyone's on the same page and in a good position to know what the expectation is and to know what they have to do to excel when you guys are gone?
It's very important. I think you have a lot of veterans here that are stepping up and showing these new players and practice players and young players, the roles and the club and the culture, and what our motives are, and then you get more international players. You get the U.S., the Canadian, the Australians back. You get our little Brazilian back. That's exciting. You bring those players back in, and you see even a higher level and what those players can give and the leadership they can give, and that's very exciting, and I can't wait for that.
Do you have an idea of how many games you're going to miss this season at this point yet?
I'm just trying not to think about it. It's frustrating. It's I love playing for the Thorns, and given our schedules, it's hard, and obviously the World Cup is the biggest thing in soccer, and that's what you want to play for, and that's what we're here to do, and but it is unfortunate that we missed so many games, and I'm not sure the exact number, but we'll be okay.
Lindsey, you mentioned a minute ago the importance of the veteran leadership on this team. Mm-hmm. Do you consider yourself a veteran at this point?
Weirdly, I don't think of myself as a veteran, but I guess I've been playing for a while, so and I've said that before, that I want to take a more leadership role, and I feel like I made more steps last season, and I think we came a long way last season too with all that was dealt. So I will try my best and try to do everything I can, and hoping that I'll be playing the World Cup. I'll do everything I can to help these players that will be stepping up.
It was such a big year for you last year individually. Does your life feel any different now than it did a year ago?
No, I think obviously looking back, it was such a great season for me, and I'm thankful for so many things that helped me get there, including our staff and the players and whatever. But it's kind of behind me now, and I think I can look at it and say I want more, and I want to be better, and this is what needs to be done. And again, we didn't win, so it's kind of like a hard feeling to have. Like, I'm very proud of that award, but it would have made it so much better if we had won. So there's so much more to do, so much more for me to do, and yeah.
Because of your promise for the national team, you're kind of a year-round player at this point. What has it been like now that you've done that for 2 or 3 years straight, physically, for you to deal with the demands of playing for essentially 2 separate teams?
In the past, it's been great for me. I think physically I've been at my best, and then you come up with an injury like this, and okay, now I need to this is where I need to be more of a professional, and what more can I do to prevent this? And and that's getting in and doing PT, getting in and stretching, foam rolling, doing all these little things, ice bathing after training, all these like little rehab things that are going to help your body. And I think that's just me learning more and more as a professional and what I can do to help my body, and I see it from all the older players. I'm getting older.
What has it been like to watch She Believes from the distance that you've been at throughout the last couple of weeks, and what have you thought of your team's performance?
To be perfectly honest, it sucked. It's very hard to watch your team and not be there, but it's also like it's cool in a different way. You get to watch them from a different perspective, and you see everything, and you get to analyze the game, and you can sit there and look at your position, what you would do in those scenarios, and learn from everything that's happening. And I think our team in this tournament, took took a lot of learning lessons, and I thought we were so great on so many levels, and then there are obviously a lot of mistakes that happen, and some defensive errors, and I personally think this is the time to have those errors, and we got to learn from them. And obviously, you never want that to happen. We wanted to win She Believes. We wanted to win every game. We wanted a clean sheet. All these things. Those are so obvious, but I like that we can learn from them. And all these teams are testing us, and great teams too. And credit to England, because they're a great all tournament and came away with a win, and they deserved it. So.
And it's going to be such a big 6 or 7 months for you between now, World Cup, and end of the NWSL season. When you think about the things that you want to accomplish during that time, how do you talk to yourself? How do you conceptualize that? How do you set goals? How do you motivate yourself?
It's kind of one step at a time, one thing at a time. Obviously, the World Cup is a big picture for me right now. I want to make that roster. That roster has not been named, and I can't sit here and say that I'm going to be on that team yet. So that's number one for me. Obviously, getting healthy right now, and looking to get back into training in the next week or so here, and then what can I do in these preseason games, and kind of look at it that way. And then obviously for the Thorns, I want to give as much as I can, as I said earlier, to help any of the players here that will be stepping into those roles, and with whomever's gone. And I think we still want to win this thing this next season, and I think we can. I think we can with the players that we have, and given so many players being gone, I think we're going to be perfectly fine, and I have a lot of trust in our team.